Greetings. My name is Francis.
My name is Elias.
You're welcome to Family Television. Family Television,
Working out solutions.
Family Television,
Where problems meet solutions.
We want to sincerely appreciate our valued viewers who have been watching our first introductory video in Family Television. Family Television has come to stay and will serve as a voice of solutions to the family and marriages longing for a home of love, respect, and harmony. Our theme in Family Television for today is decisions and motive behind our decisions in marriage. First of all, the decision of marriage as part of the human life and activities on the planet Earth was not man-made. Marriage was not the decision of any tribe. Marriage was not the decision of any community or country. It was the creator of all creatures that gave the disapproval that it is not good that a man should live alone. So this institution of marriage that gave birth to family was not an act of civilization or colonization by the white man or the black man or even the brown race. The decision of marriage is made by heaven for all human race, no matter your tongue. That is the first foundation you must stand on for your peaceful, lovely, and harmonious marriage and family life. Still on our theme for today, decisions and motive behind our decisions in marriage. Every marriage is carrying within it a secret batch code which we call MD and ED. MD in Family Television stands for manufacturing dates, and ED in Family Television stands for expiring dates. The day the man or the woman decide to go into marriage is the MD, the manufacturing date of that marriage. And his or her motive for going into marriage will determine the expiring dates. Who made your marriage decision for you? Marriage decision must be personal. I mean individual person's decision and not our family members' decision, not our spiritual fathers or spiritual directors' decision, and so on and so forth. So many problems our men and women are going through in marriage can be traced back to the decision time. So many brothers and sisters are into marriage on behalf of their family or parents' decision for them to marry. Some were their friends that decided for them. Others were their colleagues in the working place that made this all-important decision for them. Others were the influence of beers and alcohol that pushed them into marriage decision. Unknown to them that none of this outside influence can sustain marriage decision for them. For our youths who are here to settle down in marriage, if you cannot personally, consciously, and carefully decide to go into marriage without any outside influence, our candid advice for you today is to wait until you have grown to take personal decision concerning marriage. Because marriage is an everyday decision. From the day you made the first decision till death do you apart. Take note. In your personal decision, you must align your personal decision with the divine author of marriage, the God himself. For instance, in this part of the world, we practice federal system of government. There are some certain things an executive governor of a state cannot do without the approval of the presidency, such as currency, security, natural resources. Because his source as a state governor depends on the federation account that is with the presidency. As important as your personal decision to go into marriage, it must receive approval from the supreme creator if you must find peace and harmony in that marriage. Marriage is honorable in heaven and in all human society. Marriage is the cheapest investment and the greatest investment anyone can make in his or her lifetime. But its success and failure depends on who made the decision for you. Decision is the starting line, and motive behind the decision is the finishing line in any marriage. Motives behind our decision to go into marriage. The motives behind a brother or sister's decision to go into marriage will determine how long the marriage will last. Motive is a silent controller of our decision. Could it be true that some of the many problems troubling many marriages could be traced back to the decision and the motive behind his or her decision in marriage? I remember vividly many years ago when I approached one of our sisters for marriage. The first question she asked me was, how much was my salary? And would I be able to live in the city after marriage? As at that very time, our national minimum wage was 18,000 naira, which cannot even transport me to such a city. To such a sister, if such marriage eventually worked, or the brother later married such a sister, the expiring date of that marriage depends on how much salary the brother is receiving and whether the brother could live a city life. That's why we say your decision and your motive is the starting and the ending of that marriage. To such a sister, the expiring date is already in view. Because if anything happens to the man's salary, my brother, the sister will pack. And if they don't pack, the marriage will become cat and dog home. Motive is the life and death of any marriage relationship. To so many, it may be her beauty. Oh, the brother wants to rush the sister because of the beauty. Unknown to such a brother that the beauty will fade. Some sisters entered into marriage because of the handsomeness of the brother. Unknown to such a sister that the handsomeness will one day disappear. Some were motivated because of the straight leg, and others were the height of the brother. Maybe peradventure any calamity before such a brother's height, the marriage will end. To some, their motive for marrying him or her was because of the rich background of the family member of the man or the woman. Unknown to them, the riches flies. When the riches disappear, the marriage will end. We're talking about your motive behind your decision to go into marriage. To others, it was his faith or religion because he's a member of our church. He belonged to my religion. That's what motivated you to go into marriage. Unknown to such a person, that if anything happens to such a brother's faith, the marriage terminates from that very point. Some were motivated because he or she were from the village you are coming from, or from the town. Anytime my village and your village started to have crisis, the marriage began to have crisis. Or state, or country. All these motives mentioned and many more have set marriage in motion, but could not sustain them. That is why when the paycheck is not forthcoming, the beauty and handsomeness start fading, the riches, the straight leg, the village crisis, and the many more unforeseen circumstances began to come. Things began to fall apart in such marriage. Divorce and separation will definitely set in. And the children will be left alone in this wide world of ours to fend for themselves. Hatred, bitterness, and unforgiveness will take the place of the original love. respect and harmony in those hearts. To the married, can we go back to the drawing board? We want to solve your problem, want to provide solution. But like the doctors, they will ask you, what is the history of this sickness? Can we go back to the history? What motivated you to enter into marriage? What was your motive to getting to marry to that brother, to getting to marry to that sister? Could that be the main crisis that will be devouring your marriage? Who made the decision of marriage for you? Were you the one that sat down after many days and weeks and months and say you want to go into marriage? Or were you first? Or somebody made the decision for you? Whom do you ally that's your personal decision to? You ally it with your classmates, with your schoolmates, with your family members. You abandon the author of marriage, whom you ought to ally your personal decision with for approval. What was your motive of going into marriage? Because of what you're going to get from the man? The flashy cars, the building. All of these things are good, but they can never sustain a lovely marriage. The healing and the healthy family we are longing for is possible, my dear, with our open-heartedness to answering these questions. Before me is my brother, Mr. Elias. Over to you. This is Family Television, where problems meet solutions.
All right, thank you. You really hit the nail at the head.
Okay.
He ended the discussion with the demand that's pleading that we should go back to the drawing board. I believe we can all fix our family. You can maintain that family you started from the time you are so interested. So, Mr. Francis, and on this note, I would like to put up some questions. You really taught us a lot about how we can hold on to the marriage we've already built. Divorcing your marriage is not an option. What makes you a learned man, not by education, is the ability to hold onto your marriage and you grow old in that marriage. So no marriage, as far as I'm concerned, almost every marriage do have problems, but the ability to stand in that problem and solve it together makes you a wise man. So as I'm continuing, I would like to push up two questions to you regarding the teaching and regarding the teaching you just concluded, which you ended by advocating men and women in their numerous marriages to go back to the drawing board and get their marriage fixed. So my question to you is, why is it difficult for young men and women to make decisions in marriage? I noticed that during time of marital acceptance, there is this rapid fear in men and women. There is this fear when they want to finally get together as husband and wife. Ladies used to be afraid. They sometimes decide to quit, fearing there is a fear of unknown, if I may say. So what advice would you give to our audience or give to the world regarding that fear of unknown that do appear before our young men and our young women during decision making to engage as husband and wife?
Okay, Mr. Arias, I want to appreciate you for this very constructive question. I want to begin to say that anything fear is not from God. Anything fear is not godly. The anointing of devil and Satan is fear. Today we discuss about the basic foundation for a sustainable marriage. We started with God himself, who instituted marriage. We went on to say that the brother or sister must take personal decision to go into marriage. And we also say that your motive behind the marriage will also sustain the marriage to an extent. God keep you and your partner alive. You asked me a question about the fear that our young men are nursing and still keeping them back from entering marriage. That fear is an ignorant fear. It originates from original ignorance. Because the Bible said that he that created them, male and female, he created them. In all holy writings, in all religion, in all nations of the world, marriage is accepted. So, for a man and for a woman, you matter your career in life and in destiny. To fulfill your destiny, you must be involved in marriage. Ask those ones that have grown so far in their career without the man or the woman. Inside them, in their closets, they are yearning for a partner of their own. Money, they have it. Position, they have it. But in the secret of their hearts, they know they are missing the most vital thing in life. Our advice to them today is that they will adopt the divine order. The divine order that it is not good that a man should live alone. In other words, it's also in the same divine order that he that created them, male and female, he created them. So anything fear is not from God. Anything fear is devilish. So our advice to our young men who are going into marriage is to first of all acknowledge that marriage is possible. God cannot give you what will become a problem unto you. You must acknowledge that marriage is from God. Forget about the problems we are having in our communities. Second thing the person must acknowledge is that somebody failed in marriage is not a ticket for me to fail in my own marriage. Oh, my father failed. Okay, that is my father. Francis, I will not fail. Some of our young men are already deep in imitating failures. Join them with any transit, the next thing they will say, I won't go to marriage. Oh. Those other person die in marriage. Oh. The other person fainted in marriage. Oh. They refuse to look at those ones who have succeeded in marriage. I would advise our young men and our young women, look unto God, who authored marriage. Secondly, look for the models of those who have succeeded in marriage. Then thirdly, you can work out your own marriage to be a successful one. Okay? Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you very much for the question. The audience, you can hear he gave a clear understanding that the fact about marriage is that it originated from God, and I noticed myself, and I believe our viewers, you notice that most of the things created, they were created male and female. That's what he said. So, and others failed in marriage does not mean we fail, and I will not fail in my own marriage because I believe that God instituted marriage. That is the understanding. So, thank you very much for that question. Remember, if you do have any other question to ask us, at the top of this video, as I'm raising my hand up, you will see a link or contact where you can reach out for your personal other questions regarding marriage or regarding your personal issues. Secondly, brother Francis, I would like to ask you another question regarding marriage as well. Then, in this nowadays, there's something I noticed, and I found out that people feared marriage than any other thing. Like people fear someone can do any hard jobs, but when it comes to marriage, there is a no to that. And people are willing to engage. Definitely, many are willing to engage. There is this fear they are facing while engaging, because there are people that seem to have created pattern or ways that marriage has been instituted, that if they feel that to engage in this marriage, there is a specific amount of money they have to put in order to fit in to the setting and the standard already existed before them. Which there is this particular way that when you are starting your own, there will be a reference which people will like to. So what do you have to advise our audience, our viewers, and the world regarding that issue?
Okay, if I'm to understand what you say, you are asking me why some are running away from entering into marriage.
Yes.
Then some of this is some are running out of responsibility. Marriage is a responsibility. Marriage is a responsibility. Some want an easy life, and they will give 100 plus one reason that the cost of marriage is too much. I will tell you, the cost of maintaining a girlfriend is higher than maintaining a wife and children. Number two, that somebody went and spent 3.7 million to wed a sister does not guarantee that will be a successful marriage. There is no best wedding, no best marriage right anywhere. We should concentrate on making our marriage, our home, a home of love, respect, and honor. Instead of borrowing money from banks to go and throw party and show the whole world, whereas inside your family, you are battling to keep that marriage in love and in respect. So in summary, I want to let you know that anyone that have gotten to the age of marriage and you have no religious obligation not to marry, it is an act of irresponsibility. Number two is that nobody should scare you away because of the kind of marriage you witness in the other side, how much they spend or whatever. You should concern yourself with how to make your home a happy marriage. And let me tell you also, it is the responsibility of the man and the woman to know the kind of wedding they are going to hold for themselves and the kind of in-law that you came into or you want to marry his or her daughter will also determine how those expenses will be curtailed. So in summary, there is no fear. Marriage is working. The best thing a man can do for himself who is up to the age of marriage is to go and marry. With it, God is behind him.
Okay, thank you very much for the question well answered. You've heard him in conclusion that marriage is, you don't need to be afraid of marriage. It depends on your partner and the arrangement and the in-laws and the family you are entering. So that takes us back to the end of today's video. As we are concluding, there will be also a question I will be asking him, which in preparation in our next video while we are presenting it to you. Let me say in our next video, dated on 10th of this February 2025, will be on. You will see our video posted again. On that video, you will now answer the question I'm about to ask. The question, sir, that I'm about to ask you, which will get prepared in our next video, is that how come God decided for Adam and provided him a wife, and ours he wants us to hustle it out by ourselves? Second question is that nowadays there are numerous expenses on marital rights. People are finding it difficult to marry because of fear of the marital rights. What advice would you be giving us on that aspect? So if you are watching this video, we've come to the end of today's video. My name is Elias and my brother here,
Francis.
So whatever you need or whatever question or whatever assistance or however it is, remember to click on the top. There will be a link that will be posted here. Whatever issue, whatever assistance you click on this top, we are Family TVs and we are here to work out solutions. Thank you and remember, God bless you.